Welcome to another Top Tips tutorial here in Tenerife. Last time we conquered the back loop. Today we're gonna skip a bit from waves to freestyle. So I had a lot of demand on the flaca. I think the flaca is one of those moves that everyone wants to learn. Everyone tells it's quite easy once you know how to do it. And it's a move that we can also use in the waves for tacas and stuff like that. To get into the flacas, there's a few things you should be practicing before. One of it is a good carve jibe. The second of it is an upwind 360 in light winds. You can always practice this first outside of the foot straps, then in the foot straps. And the third is a chop hop. Why the carve jibe? Well, everything for the flaca is done on the takeoff basically. If you do a good takeoff, that's 80 to 90% of the move done. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that, the things that can go good, the things that can go wrong. But before we start with it, we have to understand something about apparent wind and how it influences to get a neutral point. So look at this shot, we're getting filmed from above. We have the real wind, which is 90 degrees on our angle of sailing, and we also are moving forward, and because we are moving forward, we're creating a wind from the front. So in reality, we are facing two winds. So our neutral point of the sail, which would be straight into the wind, is not exactly straight into the wind. It's between the apparent wind and the real wind. Why is this important? This is exactly where we're gonna place our mast when we are doing a flaca, a forward, and many other moves. So keep this part in mind. It will probably come up in a few more tutorials. Back to the flaca. Okay, the flaca for everyone always starts with a carve. But why are we doing the carve? Well, we are doing it for two reasons. Reason number one is quite obvious, is to depower the sail, and if we can move it back, it's easier to throw it further forward. It's like when you want to jump a 360 on your feet, you twist your arms first one way and then you jump it the other way. So it helps that movement. The second very important part is it allows us to move our weight forward. So with the carve, what you really want to do is you want to be able to carve through your front foot. We're moving the sail back so we can go more over our front foot. This is really key. Too many people are trying flacas and sailing everything from the back foot. They're trying to jump up from the back and then try to get to the front, and they can't get it. So the carve is key. It needs to be short, but it needs to be executed well to make the flaca easier. Let's break down the carve part. So to get a good carve, we're gonna do exactly like in the carve jibe. As we're going half the wind, we either see a flat bit, or in this video it's a bit more choppy. I see the back of a chop I want to hit. That's gonna be my takeoff run. Just before that, I'm gonna go bear a little bit off to carry a bit of extra speed. I move my backhand further back already. This will allow me later on to move the sail more forward and allows me to hold the power a little bit more as I'm going downwind. Don't bear off too far, just do like 10-20 degrees of the wind just to accelerate. And then we're gonna make a short but intensive carve. How are we gonna do that? We wanna get our body weight above the board, so we're gonna bring our sail back. This movement back is gonna load up the front of the sail for a split second, and is gonna carry our body weight forward. As you're carving, remember to hang on through your front hand to really push the board down and go through your legs. Okay, as you go through your legs, you can be ready to jump off a lot. A lot of people are carving with their feet too much straight up, and then when they want to jump, they first still have to go through the leg and then to the front. So we're gonna carve, go through our legs, the clue gets a little bit more into the wind, and the sail is gonna feel light. And as the sail depowers, it's very important to move the sail from one side, from the inside rail to the outside rail. Bring it past you and extend your front arm and bring the sail as far forward as possible. I always say if your nose is 12 o'clock, try to bring your mast to 11 or 10 o'clock. Okay? Once it's there and you're fully stretched out because you're about to take off, try to leave the sail there. Very important is that once we're taking off, we're not pushing on the backhand. We're not trying to force it. We literally place the sail there like we would almost do with a no-ended flaca, and then everything comes from the shoulders and from the hips. So we're about to take off, everything is pushing up. As you're taking off, you've pushed up also through your backhand, and as you're releasing, you're pulling up your toes. We're not pushing on our toes, we're pulling up our toes, and we're trying to bring our upper body above our boom towards our backhand. So our front hand we're gonna keep stretched, and our back hand is gonna come a little bit closer to you. Very important here is stay above the board. Don't try to lean over the board too much to the front or too far to the back, trying to kick the board underneath. Try to stay above it and push down on the base plate if needed, and try to get your body weight as far forward as you can. The more forward you are, the more likely you are to land it. So you've brought your body weight to it. Naturally, you're gonna pull in your back leg, but remember, pull up those toes, don't push them down. And what you're gonna try and do is try to move your hip, so your back leg, under the clew of the sail. I'm still not pushing on the sail, okay? The sail we don't do anything with till we're sliding backwards. As you're above the blaze, you're gonna look obviously where you wanna go, and you're gonna land slightly into the wind. You're gonna start feeling some pressure in the sail, but try to hold the sail as long as possible the same, till your fin catches. We're sliding backwards, and now we have to finish the rotation. A lot of people here, they're sliding and they're already pushing through their sail. What that does is that their sail is going to be rotating around quicker, and they're going to fall at the end in. Very important there is be patient, look over your shoulder, bend your front knee as much as possible, okay? This is going to give you that little bit of extra time, so that when you're sliding and when you're completing the rotation, your fin will grab into the water, and as soon as your nose is fully downwind, that's the moment where you push the clew through and slice your hands back together, okay? If you keep your hands too wide here at the end, you're gonna still fall off at the last moment, either getting pulled on the sail, or you're gonna spin out and you're gonna pull to the front, okay? Practice this movement well in light wind. Is there a lighter wind day, do upwind 360 and really just slice your hand together and be centered above the board. So that were my top tips towards the Flaka. I would say, as always, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. If you liked it, if these tips helped you, subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more coming. And if you're interested in any types of coaching, subscribe to my newsletters, because there's a few more camps coming up this year. And I'm also available for private coaching right here in Tenerife or in most of the places I'm traveling to. Thanks very much, and see you next time.